Goodness, let's give it a little time for some people to show up. Looks like we've already got 5 people in here. What's up, you guys? Let's see, save, highlight, share, mute mic. Can you guys hear me well? Let's see, live chat. Got it up. Got my mods. Okay. Yeah. This was a little rushed tonight. What? Alright, let's just not do any of that, maybe. That's better. Hey, how are you guys? So I have a beautiful team. Absolutely amazing. Hey, Hippie Sissy, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for a few more people to show up before we begin. I'm curious if you guys have heard anything new today that I haven't. But yeah, so, well, let me give it a few more minutes. We got 9 people. My nose ring, I need a new one so bad. Alright. So anyways, how is everyone? Hope you're doing absolutely fabulous. Alright. So basically, I want to say this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so thankful to have all of you there. All of you here. This, you know, it's kind of weird when you're talking about really sad things that truly ruin. Hey, what's up, girlfriend? I'm so glad you're here. So glad. And I'm going to moderate you, actually, if that's all right with you. I'm so thankful to have one of my Creek Squad people here. But let me finish what I was going to say real quick. I just had to draw attention to you because you've been in my comments and you're just a really sweet human, and I'm so thankful for you. But what I was saying, when you're talking about missing people, when you're talking about possible murder, especially when it involves children, I mean, obviously Sammy is of age. And a lot of the others are. But Kiely was not. Kiely was only 16 years old, right? Such a beautiful little girl with talent that is mind-blowing. I mean, honestly. As soon as I get back on StreamYard, I plan to show you guys some footage that was sent to me. And it will absolutely crush your soul. That little girl was so talented. On, like, a huge level. I mean, truly talented. I hope to God in her next life that she is just absolutely everything she ever dreamed of being, since this life was so terrible to that baby. So again, I want to let you guys know we do speculate on this channel. We do discuss things that may or may not have anything to do with whatever, but that's how you find things out. You have to be willing to brainstorm. You have to be willing to do things and say things that maybe everybody ain't going to like. But, you know, that's just how it is. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you ladies can understand what I'm saying when I say that if you are somebody who takes care of yourself and cares about your appearance, somebody that isn't afraid to say what's on your mind, and somebody who doesn't stop, somebody who continues to go for it and try to make change and create a positive world, you're going to have a shit ton of haters, you know. But here's the thing. I do not give a flying beep, 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 beep. You know what I mean? But, so we do speculate here. We are talking about sensitive material. I care very much about all of the victims that we discuss on this channel. I care very much about my team. I care very much about all of you. So, don't be mean to anybody. I don't want anybody to harass anyone because of the content that I create or the things that we talk about here on this channel. So none of us, you know, we are speculating, and I'm open about that. There are facts also presented. There's evidence that is presented. But if we're talking about something and trying to put 2 and 2 together, that is speculation, and I will always let you guys know if I'm talking about a fact, something that I know to be absolutely 100% true, or if it's something that is a high possibility based on the evidence and the things that we know to be true. So welcome, you guys. Let's see who we've got in here before I introduce you guys to my baby and my other baby, my baby's best friend, first cousin. Hello, Delana. Hey, Scott. Let's see. Hey, Hippie Sissy. Hey, everyone. So Sadie and Kyla, come over here and say hello to everyone. Hi. They were excited. Sadie said, it's been so long. Hi. This is Kyla, and this is my daughter, Sadie. They just wanted to say hello. Girls, just keep an eye on everything for me. I love you. All right, so let's get into things. Last night, I started reviewing, yes, I've got my girl here from East Tennessee, and I did mod her. Hope everyone is having a blessed evening, says Delana. Hippie Sissy says, baby girl's grown. Sadie, they said you've grown up. She's grown up like a beanstalk, hasn't she, you guys? She's just amazing. And I'm sure looking at her with her long blonde hair, yep, they said you've grown up.
Well, thank you, I guess.
Look, Delana says, hello, beautiful girl.
Thank you, by the way.
She adores you guys, and she missed my life of being a influencer or true crime creator, investigator, PI, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so last night I started reviewing that footage again, and I was paying close attention, because if you remember, I was kind of trying to explain where I felt that Sammy's story was just so off the beaten path. Now, I don't know if you all seen any of the TikToks that I put out, or any of the Instagram footage that I put out, but I did go back and look. So yesterday, let's see, time truly waits for no one. They grow way too. Delana, oh my heavens, yes. It feels to me like I feel like Aiden and Sadie were just born yesterday. Because those of you who may not know, I don't really want to talk about myself a lot, but Sadie was a twin. Her brother passed away from necrotizing ankylosing when he was only 9 days old. Now, from that time in 2011, when I lost my son, until literally this last year, I blamed myself. I blamed a lot of things. I understood what caused neck to happen in a preemie baby, but I didn't understand why. I thought it was something genetically wrong with me or my husband, or something that caused him not to be able to process the bacteria properly. Well, this year how should I put this? I was informed that the formula company was the ones that responsible, because I was breastfeeding, but the hospital had been adding Similac Neosure to my baby's milk because they said he needed the fat content. And so this year I finally found out what actually caused my baby to pass on. And that's a big relief in a way, but it'll never fix that problem, you know. Let's see, I've been watching Ryan since I watched your video. Oh, I'm so glad. So that is awesome. Ryan is, he's unique. And honestly, I relate to him a lot. If you watch my live from last night, we have similar personality traits, I suppose, as far as like resorting to like a dry comedy that maybe some people don't get. But if you have brains and common sense, then you'll understand it, right? And thankfully, my following is full of some really, really intelligent people who can read through the lines and who can shovel through the bullshit. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, you guys, I went back and I reviewed that footage very carefully of the interview that Tony Dodge done with Sammy. And someone had brought to my attention last night in the live something I really hadn't really paid that much attention to, but just how her point of view changed from one thing to the next. Let's see, just catching up because I've been watching him since his first. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You have been part of Creek Squad since the very beginning, too. And I know he loves his fans. He does very much. And maybe we can get him on once I get StreamYard set up and we can do some sort of discussion about things. I think that, you know, the internet can be a really brutal place. But he's thick. He's got thick skin, you know. He's a smart-ass man, obviously, like we talked about last night. Anyway, so I reviewed Tony's footage with him and Sammy. And from there, I was looking for the comment that was given to me. Yes, ma'am. And I'm so thankful you did. But I was looking for that comment. Someone had said, did you notice how she went from saying that if it isn't posted on the Placer County Sheriff's Department's website, or she made it like, this was a small ounce of her wanting to be in the spotlight and be in power and stuff. And she was like, if you didn't hear it from us, if you didn't see it on our page, if you didn't see it on the Placer County Sheriff's Department website, then it ain't true and it ain't confirmed. And she acted like she could not confirm it. And one of you brought this to my attention now. I want to give you all the props in the world for that. So that's how it started. I have people talk shit to me on here and saying I'm wrong. Baby girl, you were a smart cookie. Don't worry about what those haters have to say. We all have a right to our opinions, thoughts, and beliefs. And I happen to think if you're on this channel, then you're on the right path. So, hello, Oracle. How are you? Thank you so much for the compliment. But yeah, so she went from not being in any power. She had to have that little ounce, But she went from that to, after they spoke about a few other things, to literally confirming to us, oh, the FBI and the police have told us, I know, that it is not hers. That black spaghetti strap shirt that was found is not Kiely's. It can be confirmed. Literally went from, if it isn't on the website and no, I can't confirm it, to confirming it. Like, that was pretty strange. And had you guys not brought that up, I would have never noticed it. Yes, it can, girl. Some love some keyboard courage these days. Abso-freaking-lutely. Let's see. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, they are. You just gotta be like, nuh-uh, sis. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with a lot of hatred throughout my life. And honestly, it's made me who I am today. And it's made me strong enough to return to the awful world of internet. To YouTube. For a while, I blamed YouTube. I blamed a lot of things. Because honestly, I was pretty innocent and everything. And dumb. Absolutely blonde. Because of my care for others and want for people to be good people. I'm still side-eye and Sammy. Listen, after I rewatched that, I've started to wonder. This is huge speculation alert. How could it take 15 days to find a car that was only 2 minutes away from the party campsite and it was only 14 feet underwater? Biggest police cover-up of our time. Tony Smith, I absolutely agree. There is just absolutely something wrong with this situation. Is it a police cover-up? Was the sheriff's son at that party? Was he? We need to find out. And the only way to do that is if you press the matter. We, as content creators, have got to have the conversation. We've got to press them. Once enough people gather and talk about this, they will have to explain themselves further. And somebody needs to explain how the hell a baby girl who's 16 years old goes to a party, just absolutely vanishes. That's how they, let on. The friend, who is actually not the best friend, who was only friends with her for literally, I'm not sure on the time frame, but I do know that it was a very short time period. Just so happens Sammy arranges these parties. Magdalene, I can't remember how you actually say it, but she was like close friends with Kiely, but close friends with Sammy. And that's how Kiely and Sammy come to know one another. No, they didn't follow each other on social media at all whatsoever. One didn't follow the other didn't follow them. But Sammy did follow Jagger, which I wondered, I just got some sort of strange feeling when she brought his name up in that interview. Now, tonight, I'm going to be reviewing the IckedMel interview. It can only be one of two things, in my opinion. They knew the car was there, and they diverted searches there, or that car was dumped after. Exactly, now, Goddess, that's what I was saying last night. You see, that car, okay, the ping was right at the edge of the water, right there on that little sandbar, that little, nook. It was right in front of that. And the ping took place right there, right at the edge of the water. And they want to say that pings don't matter, that the phone can ping after that and they don't pick it up or whatever, and that's why they didn't look into it further. They allowed public out there, but they only had a couple areas marked off where the public could not travel to. And exactly where that car was is one of those places. Now, why? It makes it seem very much so like a cover up or something really suspicious. And yes, is the phone in the car? Because if the phone isn't in the car, then we 100% know something fucked up happened. It can't ping right at the edge of the water and not be in the car, right? My only question is anymore is this. Let's see. But where is the phone? In 1985, they could find the Titanic wreckage that was 12,000 feet under the Atlantic Ocean. But now, in the year of 2022, the police can't find an SUV that is only in 14 feet of water. I don't buy it. Tony Smith, you are absolutely correct. You are talking my language. There's no fucking way. You know, I have been following Adventures with Purpose for a very long time, since the beginning, basically. I remember they went out to Colorado and was searching. They've always tried to do their part and help. And they couldn't do that without all of you, without all of us. You know, that's how they do this. The police department, however, you know they get all these funds. What the fuck are they doing with those funds when they cannot find a baby girl who is literally right beside her last phone ping in the water, only 14 feet down, in a shiny car that flipped? How do you not find that? Can you please explain that to me? I mean, law enforcement. You had Placer County Sheriff's Department. You had the FBI. You had another law enforcement agency. And you had the national, like, you know, the people who worked at the national park. You had that sector of law enforcement on this case. They had... I saw all kinds of pictures and videos from their searches. They had equipment that would blow somebody's mind and could not find this baby girl. So did they purposely not find it? Did they purposely send them this way and this way? Like, look over here, don't look over here, like we discussed last night? Or was the car placed in there after? And the police are going to have to explain this to us, because that shit don't just happen. Let's see, they suck at using sonar, and they freshly go into the water are the hardest ones to see. That's true, Eckhart, absolutely. What AWP says is that, you know, they do this every day, which I understand 100%, I do. And they say that when a car goes in and it's fresh and it doesn't have, you know, all the dirt and build up the algae on the vehicle, because that's what sonar shows. Is like earth matter. It shows the fish. It shows, you know, the sandbars beneath, or trees, you know, bumps, rocks. And when a car freshly goes in, it doesn't have any earth on it, no type of natural organic matter. And so they said that sometimes it'll just flash on the screen, and that they don't really know what they're looking at. But in this instance, they said that it didn't. Like, they saw it on the sonar. They said that it looked like a box because it was upside down, you know, the wheels. And all they use, we've seen it, is fishing sonar equipment. Side scan, live scan, all of that. Now, these police officers, if you saw the equipment they had, it would really, like, AWP would have found it in 2.2 seconds had they had all of that. Just look at the images AWP posted. They are really hard to discern. Law enforcement does not know this. Eckhart, I do agree, you know, they are way more prepared for the situation. I get that, but still... there's a lot of things that need to be discussed as far as how they wouldn't let, like, they wanted public to help search, but they particularly did not allow public to search that area. Why? Why? But if they had divers, how did they not see it? Especially since they had a ping near this 1,000%. So I'm agreeing with you, Eckhart, that law enforcement needs their shit straightened up as far as searching the water for missing people. 100%. They need to be trained by AWP, and that's actually starting to happen. The FBI has started to involve them so that they can teach their officers and whatnot, you know, the knowledge that they have from all of these cases they have solved, from all of the cars they've found, and that's awesome. AWP are... that whole group of people are amazing. They sacrifice so much to do this and to help people. You know, they stay away from their families for very long periods of time to help the United States, to help all of us if we have a missing person that may be underwater. And I can't say enough that we are very thankful. But that still doesn't explain this. It was only 14 feet below. The water was pretty clear. It was right beside the ping. Had they done any real hard searching, I feel that they would have absolutely found it. Let's see here. But if they are divers, how did they not see it, especially since... Guys, it's okay. I don't care for other people to have other opinions. That is absolutely welcome here. So, only thing, like, if somebody's saying something bad or, like, really harassing somebody, then remove their comments. But Eckhart is fine. Like, he can have other opinions. I don't mind. I don't know how to fix it, though. Eckhart, I'm truly sorry that your comments were hidden, because they're welcomed. I don't see a guy like Doug Bishop BSing people. We will see what they say. Absolutely. Yes, I see your comment, Scott Davis. I don't know if that's actually your name for sure, but I don't want to call you anything other than what you want to be called. But yeah, like, guys, think of this, okay? They knew that where the last phone ping was. Her car, I'm not shitting you at all. Her car was directly in front of that. In a very... What do you mean? Oh, it was an accident? Oh, and Eckhart, my moderator wanted me to tell you it was an accident. They did not mean to hide your comments. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying before, so much, you guys. I just can't figure out if it was put in later, if they overlooked it on purpose, or what the situation is. But somebody needs to, you know, that family could have known where their daughter was so much sooner. Literally, like, in minutes. It should have been easy, should have been simple. I know that law enforcement doesn't do this as often, but FBI were involved. All of that equipment, all of that. You cannot tell me that it's a coincidence. It just cannot be. It just can't be. Now, going from that, I try to always, whatever you guys want to discuss, that's what we discuss here. I want to answer any questions you have and give you my opinions on those. Say, okay, thanks for the transparency. We're just bouncing ideas off. Yeah, absolutely. I don't care for people. I'm not like that. Like, anything is possible in this situation, you know. But I do truly feel that there is something not right. I really do. Just think of this. She went missing. It really didn't get loud. People really didn't find out till like the 6th day in. I knew about it a little sooner than that and started looking into it. Thank God, you know, they want to scrutinize RYAN UPCHURCH. They want to say bad things about the man. How many of you found out about Kiely Rodni because he started getting involved? How many? And, you know, her friends and law enforcement seem to want us to look over here and not over here, right? They wanted us to feel like it was a possible trafficking situation, which I also understand that it was possible, and they didn't want that to be overlooked. If she had been trafficked or kidnapped, they wanted to make sure they said something. But I just feel that they done it for the wrong reasons, is my opinion. You know, if you don't want somebody to find something, then you find something for them to look at that's more shiny or more, you know, if we don't look over here, where could she end up? Now, you know, so that's what we all were thinking, that she could have possibly been kidnapped or trafficked or brought across the country. Now, see, I am from Eastern Kentucky. Ryan and a couple of my viewers here, the Creek Squad, are from Tennessee. Now, California is way across the country, right? Literally all the way across. Now, had RYAN UPCHURCH not got involved and talked about this case, do you think that this side of the world would have known about it? It's possibly that it wouldn't have been such a big deal, you know. I don't know that a lot of the other crime creators would have discussed it if they hadn't heard it from him first. I really don't. So I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, RYAN UPCHURCH, for getting involved, because it brought it to a lot of people's attentions. It brought it right to their screens, their phones, and they started getting involved and spreading the word, putting out banners on Facebook and other forms of social media. And that's how a lot of people found out about Kiely Rodni and her situation, that she was missing. So no matter what you want to say about how he went about things, he brought awareness to this case. I promise you that, in a big way. It got huge thanks to RYAN UPCHURCH's involvement. So, anyways, going off of that, now back to Sammy. In the conversation that she had with Tony Dodge, you know, I said that she had changed. You know, she went from, if you don't know if it's true, if it isn't on the Placer County website, if it isn't here, if we didn't tell you about it, then it isn't true. Let's see. Pretty Little Liars community cover up 100%. Bless RYAN UPCHURCH for screaming for Kiely and being her voice. Creek Squad's got you, baby. Girl, they won't let you be forgotten and lost on a shelf. Oh my goodness, Shy Wolf, 1000%. If you haven't already watched the AWP Jed Hall episode and the Ralph Brown, they found these guys in water with AWP search themselves, and the learning curve is crazy. I agree with you, Eckhart, on that 100. I know that they are much more intelligent when it comes to the search. That's, you know, yeah, thanks, Ryan, for questioning these oddities. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, everybody, if you don't agree with a lot of these crime creators, they get pissed off. They take that very personally. Now, did Ryan react like upset? Of course he did. He's a human being. You know, Ryan is trying to lend his name and his following to a good cause, and that's not a bad thing. Now, you know, they clipped these little images, these videos of Ryan getting really upset with Bump Lip Lady, you know, XanaMayX, and tried to make it look like he's a crazy lunatic that just has an anger issue, and that just isn't the case. Ryan did not go after XanaMayX first. She was ready to attack him literally from the time he came on that podcast. You could see it in the way she was looking at him on her screen. You could tell by the way she was talking and jibber-jabbering to whoever the hell she was talking to. Probably Ronnie, because she definitely wanted, oh yeah, me and Ronnie are in touch. You know, me and IckedMel are friends. She wanted the spotlight. Same thing with Sammy. Now, I was thinking it's very possible that these people wanted attention, because that does happen. I know it sounds awful that other people would want attention, want to spread their name and be famous when there's someone missing or someone who's possibly been murdered or died in a tragic way, right? But it does happen. We do have people out there that are willing to do whatever because they want to be noticed. Now, do I think that Sammy is an attention seeker? Yes, I do. But along with that, her story just don't add up. But there could be another explanation for that. She is not underage. She is of age. But she's still a child. She, you know, she's just human like us, and maybe she messed up on a few things. Maybe it was just she was nervous. You know, that's a high possibility. I don't know if she goes live very often or talks with the media very often. That's another possibility. But it's some shady stuff. And it's pretty alarming, regardless. So, you know, taking a look at it, and, you know, just because they're children, I think that the law enforcement out there was like, oh no, we can't investigate that part of this. But that's exactly the problem. It needs to be looked into. They need to question these kids that were involved, and if needed, they need to press them. And if they can't do it, then they need to find another part of law enforcement that is willing to do so. It's very friggin' important. Very important. Let's see, let's read some comments. Why don't they just detain her for 48 hours and interrogate her? They could have conspired to hide the car by pushing in. Yes, Eckhart, 100%. So they had previously searched the same area, and when they came back years later, they found them right under their noses in the spot that they had said. Yeah, it's common. We've seen it many, many times. Yeah, people getting mad at Upchurch clearly didn't watch the previous videos where she was extra slick with her comments and nastiness. 100. Early on, I thought she OD. Yeah, they did, because those kids just kept wanting to talk about there was drugs there that we normally didn't have at our parties. And it makes you wonder what's going to come back when they give us the report, you know, from what was in Kiely's system. She called her mom and told her that she would be driving home. Then she took a wrong turn and drove into the lake. The end. Common sense, that's a possibility, but there are other possibilities. And I mean, I'm curious to who you are, since you seem to want to shut other people who have other opinions up. Why would you care that we are here trying to talk about the possibilities, trying to figure out what could have taken place? Why are you wanting to just shut the conversation down? That's also alarming. Well, in my opinion, her parents should have told her to stay off of YouTube. Then, if she didn't want folks coming for her, in my opinion, she jumped into the shark tank herself. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Her parents should have shielded her. But I'm assuming she didn't take her parent, like even probably discuss it with her parents. She didn't care. She wanted to be looked at. I think they could have saw a faint image of the car with a drone, but at water level, it's really hard to see. Eckhart, I'm telling you, there's something. Sheriff said they were grid searching the water for something the size of a cell phone, but they missed a whole car. Yeah, they said, this is what I caught on to during the press conferences, okay? Let me frame this up. So at one point they were saying that they had people in the water with like sonar that they could look down into the water because they didn't want to like stir up the muck that could possibly cover up the phone or the car, right? Now, we know that even though those friends were trying to get them to look outside of the lake in the park, you know, they were supposedly looking into things. They were asking about the necklace. They were asking about the bodysuit. They were asking about many items, and it made it really suspicious to all of us. I do feel that they did have some, you know, I don't know which member of law enforcement it would be if it's possible that there was a cover-up. But like I said, we did hear that the sheriff's son himself could have possibly been at that party. That's high speculation. I can't prove it, but it will come out in the long run if he was there. How was it such a big college party during the summer when school isn't in? Or even a high school party? You know, it's pretty weird, isn't it? I guess things are different out there. And I think it was the fact that they were getting ready to go off to college. Even though graduation would have took place a few months ago, it's coming up time for those kids to now go off to college, to leave Truckee and go wherever it is that they were enrolled in college at. So I'm assuming that that's the reason. It was a farewell party. Now, Kiely was in homeschool. She graduated at home. Now, Sammy, from what I have gathered, that she went physically to a school. Senior grad party in the summer. Yeah, Brittany, go back and watch the last press conference when the reporter asked the question if anyone was in the SUV with her, and he paused for a few and said there were no other bodies found, right? Really fucking sketchy, you guys. I guess it was a saying goodbye to those leaving for... Yes, Delana. Scott, that's what I have gathered. They said that they had teams of swimmers on the surface not to disturb the water underneath. You can't make this stuff up. At least they called AWP, or did they? Now, I was told that the family and friends and people like us that were watching got a hold of them, and that then somehow somebody recommended for the FBI to contact. So I don't think you know, and they really seem to try and keep them away from Prosser Lake Reservoir. They really seem to, because, you know, in the Washington Post, that comment that was given, it said they made them fairly confident that they didn't need to search Prosser because it had been so strategically searched before. You know, they were doing grid searches. They had people on top of the water with the sonar equipment looking down. Well, after that didn't work, then they sent in divers to actually go into the water and go to the, you know, go diving deep down to look for her car, for her items, for any items that could be of any substantial, you know, relevance. How did they not find that car? Did they just purposely not search right in front of the last fucking ping from her phone? You cannot make this shit up. You guys are so right. Half during Sammy's interview with T. Dodge, AADC, she said KR was not in the water, that she'd been taken and could be halfway around the way. Exactly. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's super important to notice that they were playing the look over here, don't look over here tactic. Why is that? Did they see something? Were they involved in something? The parents telling these children, do not talk. Do not talk. Lawyering up. After Sammy started to get all of that, you know, backlash from us, from the community, from the people who really care if Kiely is found, she took off on a vacation. Her parents lawyered her up. I reckon her dad's an officer or something, and then her mom is a lawyer, I've heard. You know, they realized that she had really stuck her foot in her mouth. And that happens. That's how we found out about Shanann and the girls. Chris Watts went into that media interview and just literally told on himself. You know, people can say, well, you're just looking into it too far. You're just taking it too far. That was of no relevance. but it was of relevance. We were all right. That gut feeling we got when Chris Watts pled for his family to come home, wherever they were, he knew where they were. That happens. People lie. That's just like the Amber Heard situation, you guys. People want to say, oh no, you cannot question when a woman says that she has been abused. You cannot question it. Women fucking lie. I know they lie. A lot of women lie. I didn't get to read your message, Natalie. I'm not sure what you said there. It could have been an accident that your message was removed, unless it was inappropriate. Then it was intentional by my team. Do you think they were counting on her never being found? Why wouldn't they just call in an anonymous tip if she passed away right that night? Right, you guys? You know, if it was just an accidental overdose or something, I believe they would have called law enforcement or something like that, right? Which they didn't do. What did these children see out there? What happened? You know, they talked about the fight. I actually clipped that too, and you can find those clips on my Instagram or my TikTok. And hopefully tomorrow I can get us on StreamYard so I can share some really important materials with you guys that I find to be of super relevance, of high regard. I don't know if I can actually pull it up on here because I'm using YouTube for my live tonight, and I did the same last night. I don't even know. Also, my live chat's just not staying up on the screen. I have to keep pulling it up, and I don't like that. JC, yes. In my opinion, she wanted to lay out a story that there were 300 people there, and some took her, especially since she added that she had a bad feeling that something was going to happen, but stayed right. When AWP post went up, KRS vehicle and body was found in the lake, she posted that it was, I know she did. I heard, and they were like, maybe they just didn't tell you. Like, she thought, she makes it out like she was so important and so close to Kylie when she wasn't. And that's really alarming too. Why did she feel the need to pretend that her and Kylie were such good friends when they really weren't? That is a huge fucking red flag. When someone connects themselves, because she wanted to be in the know. She wanted to know what the fuck was going on in the investigation early on because she was super concerned. Along with many other inconsistencies with Sammy's story. This is why I think Sammy had something to do with her death. I do too. I'm sorry. I know she's 18 years old or whatever. She's young. But she really made herself look absolutely guilty, in my very honest opinion. And those of you who do not know, I actually have a degree in law enforcement investigation. I worked at a jail for a very long time. And I was also an officer for around 3 years. And in my professional opinion, in my educated opinion, you know, I had psychology classes. I'm sure a lot of you did. And body language tells a lot of things in these cases. And although, you know, to prove a case in court, you have to have a lot of things. You need physical evidence. You need your, you know, in a lot of cases, they don't have a body at all. But going off the gut instinct, realizing that the people's stories are so fucked up, that leads them to figuring things out. We've seen it many, many times, have we not? Kinda, then freak, but when she does bump lip, chick come involved. Right, okay, so I want to discuss Zanny Mae. That's what I'm going to call her, is Zanny Mae, because in my opinion, she's the stoner. Yes, ma'am, I'm 46 years old and seen some shit. Right, Scott? Absolutely. Right. But, you know, so let's discuss Zanny Mae and where she comes into this story and why she was so ready to attack RYAN UPCHURCH, a famous singer that cares about people, that does his part, that gives back. You know, I know he's from the country. I know he's from Tennessee. Don't got to tell me about the meth head comments and, oh, toothless this and what was all the things that Shogun Cinema guy, the big, you know, I don't mean to be body shaming, but the big guy, you know, the one that they claimed had diabetes, you know, he was throwing some serious low blows. Like, oh, they're all this, all them RYAN UPCHURCH fans. And I'm a fucking RYAN UPCHURCH fan. And I do consider myself to be part of the Creek Squad. I'm sincerely sad that I didn't make it to the meet over in Paintsville the night that he met up with old Johnny Gobble, who I used to book in daily. And I could tell you guys some stories, honestly. I don't know if I should, though, because I worked there at the time. But he was a handful, you guys. Yeah. So Ryan just, he's willing to pay attention to things that a lot of famous people aren't. He noticed Johnny Goble, and actually it brought him some content. I don't know if you've heard that song, Dag Nabbit, I think it's called. Oh, it's hilarious. But yeah, so Cinema Shogun got involved in it because he needed views, because he wasn't getting very many views talking about Britney Spears and cinema stuff, cinema related things about films and whatnot. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping because we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. They just names. Fuck yeah, Shy Wolf. I'm right there with you. That's right. Elephant elbows, Scott, you nailed it. Oh, I can't stand that. I've always worried. This is going to sound so, like, vain. But I went to school with a lot of girls that had the, rusty elbows. Hopefully mine are looking good. Yeah. Pink, clean. You need a loofah, motherfucker, right? But also, the people that get the black ring around their neck. I've always worried about my makeup where I wear it so often, getting around my neck and, I don't know. But that's from lack of bathing and exfoliating. That's how you get that nasty, ashy part. And that can happen down below, too, which is, ugh. But back to what I was saying. I'm so sorry for being such a scatterbrained idiot tonight. But yeah, those were the only things that the motherfucker had to say. Talking about us, calling us toothless, meth-headed hillbillies and shit. Fuck you, Cinema Shogun. Come fucking have a live with me. As soon as I get on StreamYard, me and you will discuss all of this. You really took footage of Ryan Upchurch, you edited it, and made him look bad, or tried to. But most of us are smart enough to know, watch the full video, watch the full clip. Now, when Ryan Upchurch went on to that podcast where XanaMayX had just miraculously came out of the woodworks to join Tony Dodge, for what reason? She lives in that area. She was at Prosser Family Campground the night that Kiely went missing. Apparently, she was involved in another party there. A beautiful Spanish party, she said. And then days later, she literally canoed over top of our sweet, beautiful Kiely's body and vehicle. Literally, that is where she was. She canoed right over top of that baby's body. She had books on her table, homicide investigation. Her comments were just so strange. And if you notice, she was just waiting for a chance to jump on to Ryan. And as soon as Ronnie got brought up, she took her shot. And she was like, we really do need to drop this Ronnie thing. Bitch, no. No, we don't. No, we don't. People that are guilty sometimes try to control the narrative in the media and in law enforcement's eyes. Okay, you got to understand that nowadays with the internet, what is said on here matters a shit ton. We sleuths, we creek squatters, whoever we are, we matter. We are loud enough. We make sure we are loud enough. We use our voices to talk about suspicious things, suspicious people that may have been involved in the death of a beautiful, talented young girl. And by God, if you had anything to do with it, I will be sure, 100% sure, that you go down for that. I promise. I am super passionate. I don't know if you can tell, but I care a lot. And why did Ronnie need for you to run your mouth on Ryan? Isn't Ronnie a grown man that was in the army or in some form of our country's protection? And it's sad. I used to book in a lot of people that were soldiers and whatnot. But everybody, it doesn't matter what you do in your life. If you're a cop, if you're a lawyer, if you're a preacher. I've put preachers in for doing things to their children. People lie. People do things. And a lot of times, the people that do those things, they find a career path that will help them do those things. Those illegal things. They find a way to be accessible to vulnerable people, to children, And so she jumped on and was like, oh, we can't talk about Ronnie. Well, why the fuck can't we? Ryan was being extremely, extremely respectful. And at that time, he did believe she was part of the show. She thought that she was Tony Dodge's co-host. Because, well, for days, since this case has been getting talked about and she joined Tony on his podcast, why was she there for so long? And, you know, Cinema Shogun clipped out parts of Ryan saying, where'd she come from? Where'd she come from? By God, I could take clips of you, fat ass, put them together with some shit and make you look guilty too. Just like you done that little writing the names down and like, you know, whatever. I do know that was out there, but he meant for it to be. It was meant to be. It was meant to show, like, to feed into your narrative you were building of meth head. RYAN UPCHURCH smoked some marijuana. But that is it. He may drink, I'm not sure. But I do know that he is really, 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 really in the movement of kids don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. So fuck you for that being the only thing you could think to say. Because he was passionate and truly, truly moved by this case. It does happen. Just like me. I get involved and I get super passionate. I have stuck my foot so far up my ass talking about cases before. It happens. He normally doesn't cover true crime. You got to remember that. And he's a famous person that shares his opinions. He don't hold back because he's a badass motherfucker. That's why. And he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to worry about that. He's trying to help. He was the one that was attacked first. And when you attack someone, what do you expect to get in return? If you were being a nasty ass person, you might just get a nasty ass remark in you know, response. So let's see what you guys are saying here. I'm so sorry. I just got into that and yeah. Go ahead and go. Okay, I read that. That's right. The dirt has grown into the skin or vice versa. That is right, Eckhart. Yeah, absolutely. If she had sonar and was looking, it would be fine, but she wasn't 1,000. Why was she? She just wanted attention. So is it a case of attention seeking and getting involved because she wants to be noticed? She wants followers, wants money? Or is she involved in the disappearance of that baby and the possible murder? Okay? We could, regardless, like I've said 100 times, even if it was an accident, a fucking crime took place. She was 16 years old. She was possibly given alcohol and drugs. She could have possibly been overdosed because they kept mentioning those drugs that normally aren't at the parties. Preach, gorgeous. Thank you. True. Let's see. Ronnie should be cited for making false statements in an open crime case. Yeah. You know, Ronnie called in because I guess what IckedMel needed something to cause a big scene to get views. That's how it seems. And until they prove otherwise, I don't know what to do because Ronnie and him have spoken on his podcast before. They went back and found where he had been on there before. So for years and years and years, has IckedMel, this is me speculating because I don't have 1,000% proof, but has IckedMel been using like his friends and stuff for years to call in and make his show stand out from mine or yours or whoever's? It's possible. They were 18. Come on, we ain't that dumb. Right? Ronnie should be sorry. Okay, read that. Just to entertain the Xan theory, if RJ was disturbing Candy at the party and something happened, that's how it's all connected. Intimidating the friend Sammy to not come forward. Now, I wonder what Sammy and XanaMayX, what they're not real good friends. I really do. Getting Sammy on, because you know how Sammy wanted to control the narrative. She was the one in the spotlight. Well, when she dropped off, who the fuck showed up? That's right, XanaMayX. XanaMayX showed up. XanaMayX is from the area and knows about all the cameras because it's on the border. And she knows all about that stuff. She knows where the crime is over there in, what was it? Jesus. I don't know. But anyway, she knows about all of that. She is from that area. I seen people chatting that XanaX got Sammy to go onto the Dodge channel. Not sure if this is true. I wonder what they're not. Oh, seriously? Because I felt with all of my soul that they were good friends. It's a receipt Wicked Melvin uses all the time, staged callers. Yeah, that happens. Oh my God, beautiful Brittany, missed your beautiful face so much. Aussie True Crime in the house. Oh my God, I've missed all of you. My old supporters, just my ride or dies. I love you. Ryan is the most respectful person until you give him a reason to rip you apart. Abso-fucking-lutely. The truth is better than crack. Laugh out loud, right? Sometimes we just get so passionate. And she was lying about him. She was lying. Did Ryan make a video and show the footage where Xanny was out there on a canoe with her dog? Yes, he did. Did he bring up the fact that there was a dog burial there? Yes, he did. And it was suspicious as fuck, but did he say that she killed her dog and buried it there? No, the fuck he didn't. And she came on to Tony Dodge's show that day and was like, oh yeah, look at my dog, and being like really cunty and bitchy, like, look, my dog ain't dead, Ryan's crazy and on drugs. No. Brittany, you just keyed something off in my brain. I read somewhere that Zan was talking about the routes and about bad areas with no cameras, and that's reminding me of what Sammy said about cameras. See, you guys, we're putting two and two together here on this show tonight. I told you guys you wouldn't want to miss it. That was being discussed in one of Dolly's lives a few nights ago. I don't know who Dolly is, but Dolly sounds to be a smart person. It's okay. I think I've read all your comments. If I've missed them, just comment again. I promise I didn't mean to. High on truth nuggets, laugh out loud. Yeah, so, I mean, is it possible that XanaMay is really good friends with Sammy? When Sammy had to dip because shit was getting real hot, did she have her good friend from Ukraine come in and make it seem like they didn't know one another and try to keep the public's opinion? See, there's two sides to every case because of us true crime reporters on YouTube. Does the media want to talk about all the speculation, all the possibilities, and put two and two together and be a sleuth on the internet to go through everything? No, they don't. No, they won't. But the fuck I will. I will every time this happens. If it will help save someone or help get justice for some child or some beautiful mom, whoever, whatever, I will do what I have to do and put it out there. You know, and I always tell you if I know it to be a fact, if it's evidence or if it's a thought. But it seems it's possible because she needed to control the narrative, and where shit was getting hot, she had to dip, go on a vacation, get a lawyer. Now you got Zanny over here who really, really don't like nobody to talk about Red Flag Ronnie or IckedMel. It's possible, like I said, she's just a huge fan of IckedMel, and, you know, maybe she knew Ronnie, and I don't know, but they are connected. I fucking can tell you that. And all they wanted to do, Cinema Shogun, IckedMel, and XanaMay wanted to make RYAN UPCHURCH look like a fucking dopehead that nobody should listen to. And Ryan was just following all this sketchy shit. Like, it's pretty alarming to see this woman right out there canoeing over top of where we know now that Kiely was. That is pretty fucked up. Why was she on Tony Dodge's fucking podcast every night controlling the narrative? And also, when Ryan went on there, you know, or were they the ones fucking with Ryan? Well, is Myro a friend of them? I believe so. I truly think that Myro was sent from XanaMay. I truly believe that with all of my heart and soul. I believe that when Ryan was on the show, that she was talking to Myro. I believe that the fucking weird guy that kept calling into Tony Dodge's show, bringing up Florida and those Caribbean ladies and all that shit, trying to stir us away from Prosser once the fuck again. You see, you notice it's a pattern. And like I was saying, they talk to police, tell them one thing, and then they have to control the public's opinions also. It's not just what the police know and what the media knows nowadays, because we got YouTube and we do stir some shit up. So they have to control this narrative as well. So they have these people calling into these podcasts. They have these people going on to podcasts like Tony Dodge's. Here we find Bump Lip Lady. And you got this weird guy calling in, commenting, sending Tony Dodge those weird messages, trying to take us off the beaten path, thinking it's trafficking when it wasn't. There was a picture of Milo Kid was younger, right? And he was trying to get Ryan off the topic, trying to stir his sight away from Ronnie. And I believe that's because they wanted to make him look like a dumbass. And he is not a dumbass. I promise you, he was onto something. It was just them playing games, putting this puzzle piece here, this puzzle piece here, this puzzle piece here, so that we couldn't see through where Kiely was. They didn't want us to look at Prosser Lake. Do you feel what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm putting down? When you don't, like, smart, this is pretty smart, because a lot of times, like, Chris Watts didn't have the sense to bring up something to say, look over here, not over here. But these kids are pretty fucking smart. These people involved are very, very smart. They realize that if they said this, this, and this, if they had this person on this podcast, this person calling into this podcast, telling them this stuff and having substantial, like, evidence or fake evidence, that it was going to draw our attention away from the real situation that took place at that fucking party. If you notice, every time people got close to what could have happened at the party, why the kids weren't talking, why the parents were saying, don't talk, talking about them weird drugs. Why? Because they didn't want us to know what the truth was. But God bless how much bouncing back and forth, but over a 16-year-old teenage girl, right? I didn't get to read some of these. What kind of cult shit they got going on out there on Highway 80? Baby, I am with you there. For real. Somebody said on another live that the friend that was there for only 10 minutes was because she brought clothes for Sammy. It's crazy. Now, here's something else I wanted to talk about. That's what I was looking at last night. Okay. You know how Sammy said we parked there? We. Were you with her? I wonder why they are trying to draw your attention away from the fact that Sammy rode to the party with Mags and Kiely. I believe that with all of my soul after all of my investigating, from all the footage, from everything Sammy said, from the time she got involved to the time she dipped. Now, in the Tony Dodge interview, she stated this, okay? She said, I had talked to Kiely before the party, and we had discussed that, how does it go? Oh my goodness. That they weren't going to be riding together, and then we ended up not riding together. Okay, that's weird. You didn't discuss riding together, but then you ended up not riding together. You didn't discuss riding together, but you ended up not riding together. That don't make a fucking lick of sense. It sounds to me like you rode together, and there's a reason you don't want people to know that you rode together. Why? And then, at the end of the night, when her storyline goes out to 10:30, they were in the car, they were charging the phones, they were discussing what they were talking about, consisted of them talking about charging their phones and Kiely texting her mom. There was 2 other friends in the car, but Tony Dodge was so love-struck with Sammy that he could not fucking think critically enough to ask her who those friends were. Is it possible that it was Mags and Bump Lip, bitch? It's highly possible. And yeah, bitch, I'm calling you a bitch because, well, you're pretty bitchy. You were being a bitch to RYAN UPCHURCH, which led to him being talked about in a way that wasn't true because they misconstrued media and edited footage of him on that podcast and on other things. He made his own videos and made him look bad, all because he was so passionate about finding this baby girl. Passionate enough that he did donate $40,000 to AWP. I just questioned everything again after rewatching Ryan's video earlier today. Are you not telling us everything? 100%. See, don't take this any type of way, Mom. Question mark, question mark. They were taking drugs in the car. In my opinion, Aussie true crime, that is such a good thought. Amen. Scott, I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly. Just keyed something off in my brain. Let's see, I've read that. Oh, thanks now. Okay, here we are. Due to IckedMel's sketch hacker past, it's believable that he'd stage callers like Ronnie. See how he coached him at each time he was on? Yeah. And then the video, when they were supposed to go live together, how they made the video and he edited it so that nothing could be misconstrued or, there could be no backlash from it. Oh, thanks now. You reminded me of one too. In Josh's video, they go up in hot air balloons and the old dude talking to Doug talks about wanting to dive and not being allowed. Remember the guy posting? I'm not sure what y'all are talking about there. Talked about the routes in the back. Let's see. I read somewhere that Zan was talking about the routes. Okay, yeah. The news lies, and they only give a small percentage of the truth anyways. Yeah, because they're not willing to talk about anything that could be speculation. They're not willing to talk about pieces of evidence or to connect the dots. That's why old media is dying. And us YouTubers are rising above because we're willing to go there and try to truly help. We have so many people that are put in behind bars and they're fucking innocent. But nobody seems to give a shit. I give a shit. I, myself, used to book in people that were innocent. And I knew they were innocent. But there was nothing I could do about it. I had no power. I had nothing I couldn't help them. And that's awful. Somebody said on another live that the friend that was there for only 10 minutes. Okay, I read that shit. Sorry, I'm rereading. Don't take this. Scott, I'm not sure what you're saying, but tell me and I'll answer your question. I just questioned everything about afterward. Okay. There, Aussie True Crime 100, yes. And even more strange when she says she told Kiely she was going to find another ride because she wanted to stay later, but in fact left before her, right? Guys, I'm telling you, Sammy knows something. She knows something. All of those kids know something. And there's a reason their parents didn't want them talking because they knew they could fuck up and say the wrong thing. That's 100%. But I just wanted to come on here tonight and touch on these things before we actually go into a bigger deep dive. I have a lot of evidence to show you guys, a lot of photos that maybe you have not seen. For whatever reason, my bitchy ass comes across in a way to certain people that know things, and they contact me, you know. Back in the day when the Chris Watts case happened, I had some friends that knew some friends and knew some people, and I ended up getting really, really good information, and still to this day, I'm in contact with those people. They have no relevance to this situation or this story, but I'm just telling you that even though I'm an absolute bitch, apparently, a lot of people, they know that I will have their backs to no end. Because even before, when I was done so fucking dirty, and some of the people that done me dirty, I still kept their secrets and had their backs. As long as the secrets don't have nothing to do with, like, a case or information or faking something. Like, I'm talking, like, you know, personal things. I'm a good friend. Let's see. Has everyone's newsfeed slowed down today about the case? Yeah, because they want to shut us up. They don't want to spread it. Like, last night, there was not one point hardly that I didn't have 70 people viewing at one time. Now, tonight, it's been around the 30 people range, which is strange because normally when I start going live again, my views go up. And tonight, they've kind of lowered them because YouTube sometimes does shitty things like that, although they should not, and they lower the amount of audience you can reach with your videos or your lives. Well, you did me pretty dirty, but I really enjoy the way you share your stuff. Well, Jet's mom, I don't even know what to think about what happened way back when, but I've apologized to you before now. And after that live that we done where I did apologize to you, you still went back and, like, done whatever, which is fine. So I forgive you for stabbing me in the back after we had, you know, come to some kind of equal ground. But, you know, that's just the way people do. So I forgive you as well. And thank you for the compliment. I really thank you. Yes, I agree. I feel not too many of those girls were actually her true friends. She'd know. And why would somebody want to make it seem like they were closer friends than they were? And that is 1,000% what happened with Sammy. Sammy and Kiely were not best friends. The girl that was with Jagger, Kate Kuno, that is in fact Kylie's actual best friend. Mags and Kiely could also be considered best friends. Sammy and Kiely had not known each other maybe a month, if that. I think their only, like, knowledge of one another come about because of the party that Sammy had organized that Kiely went missing from and passed away at. Roseville, let's see here. I need to go up. Yeah, they mentioned Kay and Coke was there. Yeah, they did. And that makes me go back to Ronnie. Ronnie wanted to say that it was his cousins that were following Kiely around, watching every fucking thing she did. Everything the girl done. Everything. And he did say that his cousins were like 25 and 23. Okay, Kiely was 16 years old. And he did mention all that Coke, and it made it seem like they were the ones with the Coke, because he said there were two older guys that had the Coke at the party. But in my opinion, I think it was Ronnie at the party. And he maybe seen something or knew something and called in. I don't know. There's so much speculation, but one of these things is true. I will be on the lookout for your next video. Got to get my mind right and hold this recliner down. All right, Scott, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Creek Squad all the way. RYAN UPCHURCH is a good-hearted person. And, yeah, so enjoy the rest of your night, baby. I think they used her for a ride, in my opinion. Yeah, Delana, I do too. I do too. I believe they rode there with her because of Sammy's statements, which we will go over tomorrow. If it's the last thing I do, we're going to use StreamYard. And like I used to, I want you to come on. All of my viewers are welcome. A few at a time, of course. And I want to discuss this with you. I want your opinions. I want to hear what you got. If you have evidence, if you've got something I don't got, bring that with you, because we will not stop pressing. I don't care what anyone thinks. I love kids. I love that baby. No, I did not know her, but looking at those photos, blonde hair, blue eyes, or well, she had hazel eyes, but you know, it just reminded me of my child. It reminded me of how I would feel. And I don't mean any harm whatsoever to that family. In fact, if I had the funds, if I had the ability, I would go and search myself. I would go there and question people, do interviews, And that is the ultimate goal here. Although this channel is not monetized, and no, it is not in trouble in any sort of way. It's just that what happened to my large channel, Mysterious Case Files, the AdSense account that was connected to my main channel is connected to this channel. Because my other channel was hacked and, what is it called? False click activity. So my AdSense won't work and there's no way to change it. So when you come to this channel and we are discussing these cases, I'm not profiting off of it unless you donate, to one of my forms of whatever. So, you can be comfortable here that I'm not making a dime off of this. I care about this. On her phone, it says 14 after 5 p.m. I'm not sure which part you're talking about. Are you talking about when she was at the park and that showed that picture of her phone that Ryan showed? And she had said she was there like later on. I think she said she was there on the 20th and it turned out she was actually there on like the fucking 13th. Why would you lie about that? And she took that video down after they noticed that the date was not what she had told law enforcement and whoever else. Because I'm assuming that Bump Whip Lady ended up getting some hot water and maybe looked at right now. So, XanaMay, if you were involved, honey, our loud ass mouths, they've been loud enough. They are looking into you. If you're involved in any sort of way, if you know anything, they know what you know, most likely. Sammy, if you were involved, I know you may have run off on a vacation, you may have lawyered up, but that don't matter. You will pay for anything you could have done to that baby. All of you, whoever it is, Ronnie, whoever, speculation. If you were involved, we will find out, and you will pay for what you've done to that baby. And like I've said, even if it was an accident, she's 16 years old. Giving that baby drugs and alcohol, Ronnie's cousins or Ronnie, that is a fucking crime. 13th, baby, I'm telling you. But that's the debate. It's a 3 or a 4. But it's a 3. It's absolutely a 3. It was the 13th she was there. Why did she lie about that? Oh my God, beautiful Ginger. I had the feeling Kiely was there because some teens were in trouble and they had drugs. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Drug debts. Oh, you're saying they owed for the drugs. Myra started messaging Ryan when Ryan started talking about Ronnie. Yeah, JC, 100%. Just got notified out of the strange. Oh, I'm so sorry. YouTube is not pushing my content tonight like they were last night. I told you guys. Delana, thank you. Small world, huh? JC. Delana, cool. And my sister lives in Sacramento. Okay. IckedMel had another man that was very suspicious on with Lena Sardar case as well. He came in claiming to be a family friend, and the family said that they didn't know him. He erased all social media. Ain't that strange? Because Ronnie's stuff changed, like something about heaven or something. Just weird. So weird. There are cameras on Highway 80, but not on Highway... No, the cameras are at the end of 80. And Highway 89 apparently doesn't have any. I know that because of XanaMay. But yeah, you guys. So, there's so much going on. Like I was saying, I was reviewing that footage. And there's so much I want to touch on. But I'm going to actually show you what is alarming from those interviews tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll probably come on about 8 o'clock. And it may be a long live. I don't want to do lives that are 8 hours or anything like that ever again. But I do like doing long form media. That gives you guys the opportunity to know who you're watching and who you're listening to. Because a person, that's what I like about Joe Rogan and his podcast where he does long form. Even if somebody comes on and wants to pretend that they're this way, by the end of it, you get to see their personality and see who they truly are. That's what I was saying with Sammy. How she went from, she couldn't say whether or not that was the shirt that was found belonged to Sammy or not. And if it wasn't posted, then it wasn't, blah, blah, blah. And then went from that to telling us that it was not hers and that they confirmed that the FBI had confirmed it. How did she know? Because she was staying in on that investigation as close as possible, praying that she could keep causing enough issues, in my opinion, this speculation, causing enough issues so that they did not find Kiely where she was. Can you imagine the fucking heat they had on their asses trying to deter them away? Could you imagine? Because she was just right there. Or she wasn't there yet, and they brought her in later, and it's just so sad. The whole Truckee scene is weird. Always has been. I don't know. I'm not from around there, obviously. I'm from all the way across the country. But it does seem to have some weird motherfuckers. And I'm sure there's some great motherfuckers there, too. Wonderful people. I'm absolutely sure of it. Because look how many people come out and help search. But how many of those people were at that party and were deterring people on purpose? There was just so many of the people at the party there. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. Amen. But let's also, I want to talk about IckedMel a little bit here too. Because I've not brought his name up that much because I just think he's pretty irrelevant. And I think it's pretty shitty that he's another Heather and that he scams us and that he makes money off of all of my beautiful fans, my criteria in the true crime family. That pisses me the fuck off. Just like it did 1.5 years ago when I called out old Heather on her bullshit story that it was Chris she was talking to. Yes, she had me on three-way and had her brother, who sounds like Chris, on the phone with her, making it seem like she was in contact with him other than like a couple of letters. I don't like fake fucking people. I don't at all. And even though I had grown to like Heather, she was only showing me the parts that she wanted me to see. She was being the person that she thought I would like. She was not being herself. She was lying. And I called that shit out as soon as I had proof and knew it. I'd kind of called on a little bit before that, but I wanted to make sure. And I was right. Absolutely. 1,000% right. Police told AWP that the lake was clear already. Thank God. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. They tried to make them so comfortable enough not to search it. But after they didn't find her in the other bodies of water, they were like, well, let's go to Prosser Lake. And they did, and they found her within literally approximately 34 minutes. Yes, I wondered that too. Let's see what Delana said. I have to say, I still do question the creme brulee. Okay, so that's Kate Kuno, and she is actually Kylie's best friend. If I get to do StreamYard tomorrow, I have some photos to show you guys of Kate Kuno and Kylie together, and they are so heartbreaking. My heart actually goes out to Kate. I don't know if she was there. I don't know, but I don't believe she was. I believe her and Jagger are truly, truly, truly affected by this because they actually were close with Kylie, unlike Sammy. That's why Sammy's not emotional and why they are. Police told IDP that the lake was clear. Yeah, okay, I read that one. Yes, I wondered that too. Maybe it's a substance term or something. Talk about cray cray. Yeah, cray cray. Y'all, Ryan posted. Did he post? I can't wait. Is it about the lady that was at the press conferences? Is that the video that he just posted? XanaMayX profile proof. Oh, fuck yes. I cannot wait. So tomorrow's live, we will absolutely touch on that for sure. Since I'm live with you guys, I can't see it right now. Kids should not have too much money or time on their hands. Small communities have a lot of secrets. Yes, they do. I mean, I'm from a very small community, and let me just tell you, I cannot wait to leave this place, honestly. I love a lot of people from here, but there are so many shady, jealous bitches. Oh, my heavens. Of all ages. Yeah. Burden of proof is XanaMayX. Yes, if you look it up, we'll tell you. Let's see. Kids should not have too much. Okay, I already read that. But yeah. So guys, why did IckedMel, Ronnie Jones, XanaMay, and Cinema Shogun, who all know each other, by the way. Cinema Shogun follows IckedMel, and he's clearly a fanboy. And that's why he started dogging Ryan instead of he was using his name at first, like, oh, RYAN UPCHURCH is getting involved. Oh my God, look at me, so he'd get more views, because if Ryan's name and Creek Squad's involved, by God, you get the views. If you're a Creek Squad member, you're going to get some views because we love one another, because that's the message Ryan spreads. Love, supporting one another. You can tell me you don't, whatever he does. He was even trying to be nice to Johnny Goble. He really did. Gobble, gobble. He tried. He even was going to send him to rehab and pay for it, all that. But Johnny's out of hand, I promise you. I know him pretty well. And John Holbrook, the cop that he disliked so much, him and I were really close when I worked at the jail. We were really good friends. After work sometimes, he would walk me out, make sure that there wasn't nobody out there going to hurt me or something. You know, he's a good guy. But because Johnny causes so much trouble in Paintsville, he has to arrest him quite often. And, you know, he don't like him because of that, obviously. I can't wait to watch it, and we'll definitely touch on it. If you guys get any information from it while we're still live, absolutely bring it into the comments so we can talk about it. But yeah, I think that there's some conspiracy in between all of that. I do believe it has something to do with each other. I think Sammy knows XanaMay. I really do. I think they're good friends. I don't think that Sammy was good friends with Kiely. I think that Kate Kuno and Jagger were her only true friends. Now, I don't know for sure if they were at the party. They say they were not. I do know that Kate Kuno said she made creme brulee with Kiely the day that she went missing before the party. Now, wonder what information Kiely gave to Kate when they were making creme brulee. You know, she probably knows a lot. And my heart, I mean seriously, my heart goes out to them. But you guys, I don't know if, I hope I've touched on everything that I meant to touch on tonight. I really don't like going live just from YouTube because I can't bring other people on. We can't show images or video, and I hate that so much because it needs to be talked about. And there are some things I've noticed that I want to show you guys, and I absolutely cannot wait to do so. So if you haven't already, please subscribe if you're new. If you enjoyed this coverage, if you feel that I am on the right path or whatever, like the video, share it. Maybe tell some friends to get involved, especially the Creek Squad. You're all welcome here. I'm also a hillbilly, and I love you guys, and I know we're not all meth-headed, toothless motherfuckers. Fuck you, Cinema Shogun, IckedMel, Bump Lip Lady, all of you. Go suck one. Oops. You know what I'm saying. Speculation. I didn't mean that. Whatever. But I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my team, to my mods, to everyone, all the new people. I'm so glad y'all were here. No, y'all, he's enjoying making them all scrub and scramble with Bob Strange and the other channel. Very quiet tonight. He. Yes, they are, aren't they? I seen him like doing his lives really late and just being really strange. I guess he can't handle the heat. You know what they say, if you can't handle the heat, keep your ass out the kitchen. Sammy may have known of Kiely from where KR worked at the T-Boba shop in Truckee. It's possible, JC. Very possible. Now, tomorrow, like I'm saying, if I get on StreamYard, I will share the link. I want each of you, if you have something very important, we should talk about it. I want you to come on my show and let's discuss. But I love you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the support. Thank you for having me back. Thank you so much for being so smart and intelligent and, you know, realizing that I'm not such a bad guy. And for loving me despite whatever, you know. Thanks for being you. And yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Shy Wolf. But thank you to my team. I love you guys, my mods. I probably will mod a few more people in the future. Thank you for coming back. We all missed you so much. It is my privilege to come back. I hate that I had to come back for the story, though. I hate that the outcome is what it is. But I'll see you soon, Delana, and everyone else. I love you so much. Have a beautiful night. Stay safe. Remember, don't harass anyone because of the content that we discuss on these lives. I don't want nobody to be harassed or hurt. I've had that done to me, and it sucks really bad. But will we talk about things and press people into the corner if they're guilty? Fuck yes, we will, and I will not stop until it's solved. So have a good night, you guys, and be sure you're subscribed. You can follow me over on TikTok at mysteriously.brittany. I have a Twitter also. All of my links should be in my bio. So yeah, if you guys want to support the channel to help with StreamYard and whatnot, you can do so at my Cash App, which is the money sign BRITTANYLOUU, Brittany Lou with 2 U's. I'm grateful for that, but it's not necessary. I love you guys so much. Keep on pressing, keep on digging, keep on sleuthing, and let's figure this out. We've got to find justice for Kiely. No matter what, like I've said, somebody done something to that baby, and we will find out. So have a good night. This is Mysteriously Brittany signing off. Toodles.